heavy discussions, new understandings, and coming home. This is Gluttony and Earth. Hello and welcome to the IDL. My name is Nick, and this is Gluttony and Earth. Hickory Dickory Crocodile. I am joined by the one and only Kyle.
They used to call me Hickory Dickory Crocodile back in high school.
Oh. That's kind of a mouthful.
Why?
That's a long thing to say every time they talk to you. They just probably don't talk to you, right?
Yeah.
Redfish. I already fucked it up. What up, Adam?
I was wondering where that one was going to go. I was real confused.
I knew it was one fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish, but I actually started with redfish. I was like, what the fuck? It's done. It's over with. I think it would have been something like one fish, two fish, red.
Yeah.
Red. I don't know. I was just going to wing it. It's good I fucked up to begin with.
That's really what I was wondering, was how we were going to get from fish to Adam. Just like what that rhyme scheme was going to be.
Well, those are the only two rhymes I know. Hey, BakaZombie.
Hey, how's it going?
Yeah. What is happening? I gotta close. I have YouTube open. I don't know why.
I am opening YouTube right now.
Gotta research some rhymes.
Let me listen to Midnight.
Midnight.
So I was thinking about because I know the old BakaZombie is going to be going to Japan next year.
Open and dreaming, baby.
Yeah. So I was thinking about it. Like, do you guys how big into like learning other languages were you guys? Do you know anything else besides English?
Más o menos, eh?
Sí, yo también.
Me too.
Very basic Japanese and French.
Okay. I knew German pretty well in high school, and then I didn't take German again until like later in college, and I did the entrance thing to like see like the placements for like what kind of if I could skip early German. And I did that like pretty soon after high school for my ACTs, but I should not have done that because when I got to the 200 level, I was like, I don't remember any of this. This is bad. I gotta drop out. I do not belong here. And then I took 2 years of Japanese, but I haven't used that in a long time, so I don't remember it. I'm really bad. Like I get pretty good with a language, and then if I don't speak it for like 3 months, I forget.
Yeah, I did something similar in undergrad for Spanish, where I tested and got into like the first 200 level or something like that. But I took it sophomore year, I think. I forget what year I took it. I was well enough. The first day of class, there was a lot of like, oh shit, what does that word mean? How do I conjugate a verb? Ah, fuck. But I think I got an A in the class. So like, I also think Spanish is easier than German though as well. So
maybe. I think German has I think German and English are like the same language group.
Oh, true.
I took Spanish in high school and did the typical skate on by. Like I learned enough that like when I worked at the zoo, I could understand people that needed help that only spoke Spanish. I couldn't respond to them though, so we made it work when I had to do it. But then like my dad tried teaching us Finnish all throughout my childhood. So like, and that's another one where it's like when my grandparents speak it, I can understand certain words and get by on to know what's happening. Like they don't speak it all the time, but they do to each other. So I kind of get a gist of what they're saying. And then when Duolingo was the big thing, I was going to try and learn Finnish on that, but they didn't have it. So I started to learn Swedish, but I didn't get very far.
Oh, that's fair. Similar vein of Swedish Finnish. I did download a ton of audio books for learning Norwegian at one point. Because in high school, my big plan after high school was to just get on that immigration plot to get my Norwegian citizenship. But then I fucked it up by going to college.
Fuck college.
Yeah. College, fuck you. Who needs them?
I like to pretend to speak Dutch to one of my friends. I just use Sigma voice lines. From Overwatch.
Yeah. No, I think I'm also I'm really bad at like hearing something and being able to like memorize it to say back.
Yeah.
So things like just using voice lines, or if someone says something to me, I won't be able to say it back.
Well, like I can't say any of his other voice lines. I can do the "Het universum zingt voor mij," and she can understand it. She knows what I'm saying when I say it. So, but other than that, it's like I can't even replicate any of the other ones, mostly because I haven't heard them enough. But
she just knows she has that guy who just says that line.
I go into her chat and put in her chat all the time and stuff too. It's like, damn it.
It is really hard to immigrate to certain European
to immigrate to other countries.
Yeah, that's what I learned. So I tried because it was like a huge amount of requirements to do it, and it's only gotten harder since. My big plan otherwise, I was like, okay, I can do Wolf, which is like basically you go and
live with the wolves in the wild.
No, you go work on organic farms in different parts of the world, and that's like a 3-month program. I was like, I'm gonna do that. And then I didn't do that because I didn't. Because college wrote me back. Fuck college. All right. I think we have a lot to get into today. So
oh my god, what could be more than last episode?
More jokes.
See that segue?
I was about to. It's not much of a segue, but I'm already segueing it.
Yeah, but I was doing it better.
I don't think so. Yeah, just for that, we're gonna bounce more. I need like apples.
I was setting it up for you. I was setting up this mic.
All right, well, I'm gonna serve some recap.
Apples are pretty good. I was gonna have some apple cider.
I hate apples. Yeah, we'll talk about that next episode. There's a little teaser for our next episode for everyone. Get them hooked to listen to it. So last time, you guys, in preparation to going to the Fomorian Ball, you had about a week of downtime to deal with things. Thellum was able to acquire a sparring partner named Eduardo, in which he was able to fight and you can try and punch something that's not just a tree, something that moves. So they were just moving around in there. And then Darius decided to take another look at the library that was in there, kind of research a little bit more about the King's Sword, found just a tidbit of obscure knowledge that maybe a matching symbol that was emblazed on the sword's hilt. Not a whole lot of information about it though. And Endien went to procure all of their outfits for the ball, going to Gale's boutique, in which Gale is upset that she's not going to win, that she wants to win this costume contest again, but she knows that Miss Blois always wins, and that sends Thellum into a frenzy as he becomes consumed with the need to win this contest, and not just win it by being good, but secure it by sabotaging Miss Blois. But then he drops everything to try and hunt down this lady's address, is unable to get it, and then we find ourselves on the day of the Fomorian Ball. Everyone's just decked out to the 11, and Darius puts a little magic to juju it all up, and they get into the ball. It's really nice, a very nice, cozy atmosphere, a lot of dancing, a lot of partying. There's academics that Darius can talk about the moon with. There's a lot of people for Thellum to search around looking for Miss Blois with a flame in hand to light on fire her dress or something around that plan. It was very unclear exactly what his idea was. But I guess step one was finding her. And Endien went to get some wine, elven wine, and just discuss and talk with the locals or dance with people if they'll have her. Talk to Gillivan Dubois and his date, the priestess, is all she was going by. When after a bit, a woman starts handing out leaves. Thellum immediately is like, I dig it, and then like dunked his leaf in the wine in his glass like everyone else had been doing and just gulped it down. Darius and Endien chose not to put the leaf in, thinking that it might be just a psychedelic and they didn't want to be in an altered state of mind. However, little did they know that leaf was there to help them prevent the worst of the trip they were going on. When everything became hazy and it was hard to focus, and the scent of the perfume got louder for their nose. Bolder, and then they blacked out. Darius awoke in what he thought might be real, but was a dream of himself being tied down and worked on by some crusty doctors, only to find flies infesting his insides. And Endien found herself waking back up to the ballroom where they all led her to a throne. She's piloted by puppet strings to it, where she finds herself in the middle of a trial to either claim guilt by association with poachers or to say that Thellum is a spy and made her do bad things. She tries to kill the troll. Instead, the strings force her to kill Thellum, and the priestess goes up to her and reveals herself to be Endien and just taunts her. Erica!
It was me all along.
You are Erica.
You are the problem.
The worst fear of them all.
I am the problem. It was me all along.
She cuts your strings. You lie limp in the throne. She climbs up on you, stabs herself, and dances on your dead body or your lifeless body. And Thellum awakens to a burning village, desperate to find his friends and figure out what's going on. Hears cries for help, reaches the edge of town, and finds that Darius is tying them up and yelling at him to start drowning them, and that burning the village down was his plan. And as he goes to reluctantly do so, he sees his reflection of a person who's not himself, and that person seems delighted in drowning this man. And they all wake up, and they find that it was just part of the Fomorian ball. They all feel unhappy about the experience they were just in, and they retired for the night. Endien did try to figure out if the priestess really was Erica, but her voice was different. There was no real knowing unless she was able to get the mask off. But she seemed sufficed with the different voice and her look not recognizing Endien at all. And that's where the lights went dark, and the lights come back up on the three of you.
Dead.
Back in the ball. Okay. The lights come back up on you guys on the train ride home.
What day is it today?
We'll say it's the 12th.
12th of Leviel?
Yeah, 12th or 13th, whichever, depending on how we enter this train ride.
Enter the train ride.
I do want to get some bookkeeping done as we set the scene of you guys in your own... we figured out the word last time. What was it? What are your...
Never go down to the train tracks alone.
It's not your car. It's not your booth. Is it your booth?
Cabin?
Cabin. It's your cabin.
Cabinet.
As you guys are sitting in your cabin, the things you might see go by in a speed. And we
Things go
figure out
by.
some bookkeeping. So everyone got a little bit of experience, a little bit of honor.
Wonder.
Okay, yeah. So Darius in his goodie bag got 18 gold. He got 2,500 experience and 12 honor. Thellum in his baggie got 15 platinum, 2,000 XP and 10 honor. And Endien got 15 platinum, 2,500 XP and 12 honor, coming out with the most gained.
Endien made out like a bandit.
Yeah. I will say all your potions that you had spent were replenished for you. As he did say, like if you give him the receipts or whatever, he can refill that. Let's see, yeah, and including in those numbers, I did mention like what your ideals and flaws, who got them. Both Darius and Endien did both their ideals and flaws. Thellum did neither.
Damn it, Thellum.
You guys basically went into this because Endien wanted to hunt down the zookeepers, but it came at the cost of no one having even remotely a good time.
Just bad time all around. Not a good adventure.
I don't know if you guys want to, if Endien feels comfortable discussing with you guys, or if this is just like a maybe Endien thinking to herself about this stuff. But what does Endien think she learned from this experience related to her hunting down Javin?
It's weird because like they were trying to kill the dragon. It seemed like rather than capture it, but she thought they were just capturing creatures.
Yeah. So I guess that's a thing that you learned. Number one, Javin isn't necessarily looking for living creatures as much as maybe recently living creatures or
not Silas. What's his goddamn name?
Gil?
No.
Thellum?
No.
Kellis.
Kellis. Kellis is a moron and can be easily manipulated.
Well, to be fair,
we'll see after this point, but
I mean, I think you would be able to figure out Kellis. It's a mix of Kellis being charmed by you magically at first, and not like from a friend spell. So it's not like I realized that she did magic on me. So he already was like a little bit more friendly towards you, and it seems like he works with Korgrim at times. So Korgrim doesn't seem to be hostile towards you.
No, I just have to figure out why the fuck he wants to work with me.
Yeah.
Or is so readily willing to reach out to me constantly.
Yeah. What about the target? What does Endien have thoughts as to why he was going after the dragon?
Not necessarily, no. It assumes it's just another mythical creature that would be worth some money even if it was dead. She hasn't quite figured that part out yet.
Give me an insight check.
Insight. Of course, now we're rolling bad. 9.
Yeah, it's thinking of it on your own. You're not really able to put together those pieces.
Yeah, and then the like she is about the make sure that her 2 people she has with her are safe, and that means killing people right away. Good, but also she doesn't want to just be a murderer all the time. Because it like as much as she didn't care about what Kellis was saying, it also did still kind of hit home a little bit. But yeah, she has mixed feelings on that currently as well.
Okay. Does she? I guess I'm curious about like because I don't know to what degree you guys keep to yourselves or what degree you guys talk to each other or share. So I just don't know like how like are you guys all around just like build up the walls or?
I think there is part of that just. I think there is part of that just because of the vision that she had with like she knows Thellum's not a spy, but it does make her think like what like there is that subconscious of what if he is. She's like, no, he's not. But
yeah,
can I trust him?
It's that seed of doubt.
Yeah. So yeah, she's kind of keeping to herself mostly. She wants to make sure that like Thellum's okay, and from whatever he vision, I don't know if we've even spoke. Endien has not said what her vision is yet, mostly because she hasn't been prompted to. I don't know if anybody else has shared theirs or is going to within this cabin.
You guys heard partially what my vision was.
But yeah, she'd mostly be checking in.
Fire and stuff.
Yeah, she would check in with Thellum mostly to see if he's okay.
Thellum is inside the ring.
Oh,
he's inside
the ring in the train. Okay.
Okay, then I guess she's not checking in with him.
Darius is like looking out the window and he looks back and sees the ring. God damn it!
It's in his hand. Son of a bitch.
Thellum.
Thellum just holds the ring over Darius's hand and goes inside of it without him looking.
Okay. How's Darius enjoying his train ride home?
Darius is a bit perturbed. That's probably the best word for it. Which until Thellum said he was in the ring. But Darius is very much seems to be building up steam to start a conversation. Because at least internally he's feeling that they're a bit like what their little group has been doing has been a bit hodgepodge, like not really like what are like doesn't have really clear goals and like clear rules of engagement almost of like, cool, how are we going to go about all of these things moving forward? And like he thought after the last one, like we had kind of set on those where it was, again, as he had said to Endien a couple times, it was on site. And then now Endien seems to have second thoughts on that. So just like very not confused, but just perturbed by like, what are we doing? What are our goals? And seems to be like, probably like did that like deep breath in the quiet space where it's like, okay, I'm going to start talking, and looked over and saw that Thellum was in the ring. So
Thellum, you're in the ring.
I'm in the ring.
The genie is looking down at you.
And I'm not.
How long are you spending all your time in the ring on this train ride? I do want to remember, it is like a 2-day train ride home.
Oh God. How long can I stay in the ring?
I think it's all day or something like that. I don't know.
6 hours.
6 hours. Okay.
Thellum would just be pacing inside the ring. He just wants to be away from the group for a bit.
Yeah. And this is the closest to he has to being alone is one less person. And the whole time he's just like on his chair, like his like hand up to his face, like it's resting on there, just watching to see what you're gonna do. Because this is the first time you like popped in the ring and not immediately come to him about something. It's you popped in the ring and started pacing.
Then he'll sit down. This thought. Do you think I'm dumb?
Thellum, young Thellum. I think you are naive.
Because I think this entire time I've been pretending that I want to be a hero.
And he like cocks his head a bit, curious as to what your next words might be.
I think I've just been trying to be a hero so people would recognize me. So my parents would want me back.
Thellum, I can assure you that being a hero is not all it seems from the outside.
I see that now.
Often, it does not make people recognize you. It makes people...
I don't even think I even wanted to be a hero. I just wanted to be recognized. He'll stand up and do some more pacing. I don't care about villains. I don't care. Why'd they leave? Was I bad?
And if you were?
I don't know. I don't remember.
Young Thellum, what I can tell you is that in the 10 long years I have stood here and watched, your mother, Eileen, seemed very happy to have you around. And sometimes where you come from means nothing in comparison to what you carve out for yourself.
And what have I carved out? I grow turnips. I've already died. I'm not even supposed to be here. But you wanted something from me. And I don't even know if you're good or not.
Much as I was saying about heroes, if you look at the world as simply good or bad, you will be caught up in naivety. There is only those who want something and take it, and those who want something and don't. Some find moral goodness in taking what you want, and some don't.
So which are you?
I am one who wants something, and I take it.
And why haven't you?
Because I see a spark in you, young Thellum, and I'm curious to see where it goes. Had you died on the outskirts of that town, having never started putting yourself into new scenarios, and you died, I would have taken that death. But I think you may say you've already died. But I think your life has just started.
Thellum will go back to sitting for the remainder of the whatever hours he's taken.
Yeah, after time, Thellum pops out. And he's just contemplatively sitting, probably cross-legged still, but on the bench now.
Did you gain some insight meeting with your friend, Thellum?
I've gained something, if you can say that.
I assume that's a positive experience for you then.
If you say so.
Was it a positive experience for you? Don't just...
It's just the genie. Cryptic. What are you two doing out here?
Reflecting.
Are you guys okay?
Relatively.
Good.
I mean, nothing that happened on that island. I mean, we made it out of the dragon encounter, albeit by the skin of our teeth. We did make it out of there. What I saw during the ball was disturbing, but not earth-shattering in any way for myself. My question for both of you and myself to a degree is, what are we doing? Are we doing this for... I mean, are we just trying to get money? Are we just trying to get our own personal goals and we need help with it? Or are we trying to build something more? Are we trying to be more than just getting shit done?
What I understand that's what's going on here, is it not? I'm looking for more information on this group, the Zookeepers, and where I can find certain members of them to figure out or find why it was taken from my court. You are looking for money and treasure in places you can't normally get to, and Thellum was looking to build up his... Oh,
I'm just here for the ride.
just kind of raises an eyebrow to him. Thellum is just here for the ride. I assumed we were still working together because we were getting things we needed from each other. But I do see where the questioning comes in, because that's not necessarily the most cohesive group setting, because we're not all working towards the same thing.
Right. And I have no issue remaining co-workers with you, and we continue as we have been, assisting each other in our various ventures as a matter of now some familiarity and convenience. I have no issues with that at all. If that is going to be the case, then we need to more distinctly define how we are going to be approaching various interactions in the future then.
If this is a case of not wanting to go where there isn't necessarily treasure to be had, I can just be on call for you when you need me, and I can go about this on my own terms. And Thellum, being along for the ride, are you no longer wanting to learn from my experiences, or sounds like your heart isn't in it any further? What happened in there, in the ring and back at the ball?
Well, I drank some juice.
The parts we didn't see, preferably.
Don't get me wrong. You guys are great company. It's just personally, I don't really think I really had a clear goal. I mean, I would still love to help you guys if you'd had me, but it's all fun and life-threatening, saving each other, punching things. Cool. I now know how to punch things that are far away with magic. It's just I never really had a clear goal.
Well, from the way it sounds, we no longer go on these, what's it called, investigatory missions together. Of course, Darius, if you ever need my help getting places, you can always call me, and sounds like Thellum would be willing to help as well. But I won't drag you guys into these more dangerous missions from now on.
This is not a case of danger for me.
Not that it's too dangerous for you, but that you aren't getting things out of it that you would be looking for.
Hey, I'm still looking to get stronger, so bring me along if you want.
If you are willing to continue to grow, then I will bring you. And I'm not saying this to dismiss you, Darius. I just don't want to be putting you in a position where you don't feel that our goals align. I don't know how to word it correctly.
I don't know either, Endien. And I mean this kindly. But what the fuck is a princess doing running around with an ex-mercenary and a kid who's looking to be an action hero? Why are you out here? I know why I am. There's a lot of things I don't understand that I'm trying to figure out. But why are you out here?
This group that I've been trying to follow and find out more of, the zookeepers, one of their men, Shavin the troll, he came into the forest of the Court of the Four Seasons, the one that I was sworn to protect the beasts that live there. And he attacked the unicorn that lived there. One of the most sacred beings, and one we didn't even know lived there until that moment. I tried to stop him, but was unsuccessful. I was able to take one of his eyes, but he took the unicorn. And it was at that point I knew I wasn't able to defend that forest or the things that lived within it. So I started my librarian journey so that I could find him and put a stop to this, so he wasn't taking more from other places around the world. Him and his group.
Why the librarians? Surely you could have gotten any trainers you would have wished to gain whatever skill you needed in your court.
Part of it was the not convenience, but during this time my parents had also been trying to get me to study with Leoric, just to have that notoriety within our court of having a librarian that had trained with one of the most well-known librarians. He had been rejecting me up until this point, when I did have the encounter with the troll, where I don't know if he saw something in me or if I just actually seemed to have wanted to do it at that point that he took me in. Yes, it's partially that my parents were already seeking him out to train me, and that it would allow me to go into lands that just my status as I'll say, lower ranking princess within the Court of the Four Seasons would allow. Being the third born, that is.
Darius he reaches into his bag and takes out a map case and a cube that has various mechanisms and things on the sides of it, and sets them both on the table in front of us. It says, I mean, I've always been a mercenary. I have always been paid for whatever duties I have done. That's all I've known, in the simplest form. But during that time, there were things that I found that I couldn't explain and I couldn't understand. First one was that box. I've tried, I don't know how many times, can't even get it to start moving. I know there's something inside of it. I have no clue what it could be. It's got some sort of magic on it. I've had that for 10 years. And then I'll unfurl the map that I found that has these various landforms on it that don't seem to correspond to any logical geography, if I'm understanding it correctly. This is the last thing I found before I left the Zealous chain. This is a map to somewhere that may or may not exist, that we need to go through the metaphysical interpretation of these various landforms.
Thellum will pick up the box and look at it, and he will try to solve or open it.
Okay, yeah. Hold on 1 second.
He may have had some self-reflection, but he's still reckless.
All right, give me an investigation check.
Where's my investigation?
Probably like a -2 or something.
It's a -2. So that is a 10. I rolled a 12.
Okay, that's 10. I need a wisdom saving throw.
Okay, that's a +2. I was like, is that a negative? 15?
15.
I know Nick was maybe going to adjust this. I don't know if he actually has.
Okay, yeah, you take 15 psychic damage.
Ooh.
As you're like going through this, and it's like there's like this pulsing in your head as you're trying to like figure things out, and you're not getting it. And it maybe the image of like a string, like a thread string, like unraveling. Like that's like the image that comes to your mind when you think about how this pain feels.
I flinch and like throw it off of me.
Thellum,
What the hell?
be careful with other people's things. You can't be just throwing them around.
It attacked me. I
I've
think.
dropped that off of buildings far larger than this cabin to try and break it open. And smarts, doesn't it? And I'll do a second level cure wounds on Thellum. You get 12 HP back. Not that it really matters, but
So what do these?
Does my thing double it?
no, that's
only for hit die.
Oh, okay. 12.
So the box and the map they're tied together in some way, or
No. Found them at different times, different places. This is what I want. Money, knowledge has always been to figure out these two things. And I would say the closest I've ever been, but truly not any measurably closer than I have ever been to figuring out either of them in the entire time I have found them. And the only time I've made progress on either has been after working with both of y'all and the connections we've gained because of that.
If you want, I could try and mention it to the big guy in here.
I would prefer if you did not.
Okay.
if these missions are still helpful to you with finding this, and I can't guarantee they'll continue to be more than happy to have you still come along with us. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, Darius, I need help. I thought I had people that were going to help me after my librarian tests, but they all left. I've had people die. You were here when Thellum died and I died myself, but I've had other people die that were with me. It won't be easy, and I know you've been through terrible things. I'm not saying you wouldn't be ready for it. But yeah, I understand if you don't want to continue going on these, and you just want to call me when you need me.
Why didn't you take the shot?
Because I don't know. Maybe it was in a moment of a heat of the moment that I called for always shooting first. And I was talking a big game after we had already been in an encounter. Like, I know he's a bad person, but at that moment in time, at least, it felt like we had him under control and didn't need to kill him at that point.
You walked away. How is that under control?
I know. I didn't know how to act in that moment. Nor do I think I still would know what to do. I just don't want to become somebody that just kills everything all the time. And succumb to that being my way out of problems. But I know what problems can happen if you don't end somebody at that point. Like when Thellum went to rush the people when we were down in the sewers. I knew if I didn't take shots then, it could have been a lot worse. I'm trying to learn which situations are best for what actions. But and I try to be the leader, but I don't have those qualities as much as I like to think I do. That's another reason why I appreciate having you around, because I think I can look to your wisdom in times like that. And I apologize for not taking your advice at that time, because you did remind me of what needed to be done.
I am glad you recognize that, Endien. And I feel like, despite what we may say, some of these problems have gone from a singular person's to now all of our problems. Especially the Kellis situation. Whereas I'm sure you... I'm not gonna make any assumptions on your part. That has become a lot more dangerous because of what happened on that island now. And we can approach other situations differently in the future. I will respect and understand that when you are taking the lead in a situation, that we may practice a bit more restraint depending on what we are doing. But I do not know if Kellis and his associates will provide us the same mercy that you showed him.
Part of me was hoping we could get more information out of him, but his combative argumentation, not allowing for conversation at that point, was more than I was willing to deal with. Possibly why I also walked away from it at that point.
To be fair, you did kill one of his associates outright, which was very well played. It was a very good choice in the moment.
Thank you. I wish I could have got both of them so that mech was out of order, but
I'm worried that scumbag Dubois is going to find that mech down at the bottom of the ocean. I don't know what he's going to do with it.
I don't know. Worth keeping an eye on.
So what now? What are we fixing to do when we get back to town?
I think some mental rest is within order. At least for the coming couple of days.
Yes,
I'll keep my eyes... Oh, yes. I'll keep my eyes on the magphone to see if any postings related to the zookeepers come up. And also, of course, feel free if you see anything, hear of anything that interests you, bring it up with us so we can look into that as well. And Thellum, I don't mean to tell you what to do, of course. But during this relaxation period, maybe think about what it is you'd want to do as a long-term goal, and we can set some short-term ones for you. And I'm always here to talk, of course, if you ever need it. I'm usually within the forest anyway, so it won't be far from your farm.
Yeah, I'll think about what I want to do.
Again, just a little creak of bark as she smiles. Any other air we need to clear?
Darius sends a message to Thellum. And it just says, I'd like to speak about the
You're
genie.
muted.
Son, am I?
No,
Nick
Nick.
is muted.
I do want to question that in a second. Don't you have to actually whisper it to him? Like,
You
you
might
have to
have to. I think
whisper.
it's somatic.
So, like, I imagine Endien would very well notice and understand that you are whispering something to him.
Oh, that's fine. I'm not trying to
Okay.
hide it from Endien.
Okay.
Yeah, it'll make sense in half a second. I would say to Thellum, though, I'd like to speak about the genie, but not have him here. Can you put the ring in your bag?
Thellum saws the ring. I'm just joking. He puts it in the bag.
I would then, after Thellum does that, to your point, Endien, both of you are also beholden to that genie in different ways, which is something we will have to deal with as well.
Yes.
Not at this moment necessarily, but that is something that will have to be dealt with eventually.
He's planning something for me. I just don't know what.
That's what worries me, Thellum.
I'll figure it out. Eventually.
I don't know enough about him to know if I can trust him, which makes me nervous. I trust both of you, but I'm not sure about him.
He takes what he wants.
Seems that way.
He wants me alive.
And in good favor, it seems, if he brought me back to life.
That's why I'm concerned about what he wants, because he was able to bring both of you to life again.
Mm-hmm.
And anyone who wields that kind of power scares me.
Is that why you're afraid of clerics? That was out of character.
Darius is a well-known fear of clerics. It's like how some people are afraid of clowns, but for him it's clerics.
Choo choo.
Yeah,
I have nothing else to say.
If you're all done with your discussion,
This is a little too
Sob story.
yeah.
This is a little too much for Thellum, so he's gonna go out to the food cart.
Yeah. Yeah, so the rest of the train ride goes by. You guys kind of try to lay it down a little bit better, make a little bit more steady teamwork here. Yeah, you guys get back to New Veneer. Power's down. People are getting out. You're at the thing. Everything's crowded. It's starting to get colder out, so not as nice as it has been, but it's a bit windier, a little bit brisker. But everything looks familiar.
Fall weather's on its way.
You guys get back, you find your different ways. Downtime officially starts. I do want a clerical note. I am again changing.
Don't tell
What?
Darius.
Darius. That's what I should have done for his fear. Just clerics all around him, doing clerical work. So bonds, I'm switching it up. Throughout playtesting this and figuring out what kind of works, what doesn't work. It's not going to matter too much, I don't think, with Endien and Thellum at this moment, but could in the future. Who knows what'll happen? But so instead, whatever your score is with your bond, your responsibility, whatever, like your score for your responsibility is just the score. Whenever you are making a death saving throw, you can reduce your score by 1 to get advantage on that saving throw. If you lose your bond, you lose your bond. If you spend time with your responsibility, significant time with your responsibility for activity-wise, you can try and improve that score to get it back up to refresh those points. And then just every once per downtime, you can choose 2 benefits that it provides to get what you want. We'll probably be ending in a second here, but I do want to know, does beyond looking for a new mission, does anybody have an idea for what downtime they want to go through?
My turnips have been thirsty, bro.
Yeah.
It's about harvest time for them damn things, ain't it?
Yeah. Gotta plant yourself a spring crop now. If you guys don't know, we can always think about it for next time. But I think we can end the episode there. A lot of just heavy discussion on the train ride home. A lot of important, needed discussion, I think, between the 3 of them. It only took 26 episodes for Endien to finally have a team that sits down and talks about things.
Yeah, Jesus. None of them jumped out a window. Holy shit.
Yeah. But you did have to wait for one to come out of the ring. Yeah. If you want to talk about trains, you can hit me up on Twitter at BumbleScum. That's with a K. If you want to talk about, if you want to ask what exactly Endien is missing out of the clues that she got, you can hit me up at ideal_RPGS. If you would like to settle things and get things straight, you can talk to Adam on Twitter at LittleGrowth. If you would like to question yourself at every turn, you can talk to BakaZombie at ZombieBaka. And, oh god, you were about to be able to talk to Kyle for once, but he's back in the ring. So, can't get there. Bye.
Bye-bye.